What? Manchester United want Baleba? What? I can't. I just can't. But first, I mean, Manchester United want Baleba. Yes, I said it. I've said it about 3 or 4 times. What on earth is happening with Manchester United? What on earth is happening? I hope you're well, folks. I can't lie to you. I finished work, went on Twitter, and I looked and I went, nah, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. But you know something? It fucking is. It's time to get excited. Guys, we thought the excitement was going to stop with Sesko. But Manchester United, I said to you weeks ago, they have a silly signing in them. They have a surprise signing in them. And this today has rocked the footballing world. It has. I've got Maz, who's the Brighton fan in the Football's 12th Man chat going, he's not coming to you, there's no way. Mate, I can't believe this is happening. Let's go through some hellos first. Then let's get into this. Why I think it could happen, and do I think it will happen? So Ferdinand says, is this actually happening, or am I dreaming? Ferdinand, you are not asleep. Giles says, the Baleba transfer sounds like about a £150 million deal. I got shocked by Sesko. This one is taking the cake, and it is taking the cake. Luke says about Northampton Town for kit. Great, love to see that, Luke. Great one. Steve says, hi, Dan. We'll let you have the floor with a smile about Baleba. Look at this. Look at this. Hello, Chappie. Good to see you, my man. Great to see you. Subra, I hope you had a great day. Wahaha is looking forward to the Arsenal game now. Evening, Jamie. Hope to see you, my friend. Hope to see you. Hope you're well, my friend. Dan, what the fuck? That is a great comment because that is the first words that come to my mind when I got on there onto Twitter. I went, what the fuck? Madness. Andy, hope you are well. Looks like we might be getting that midfield shit sorted. I can't believe it, guys. Carl says, good evening, all. And yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. We hit the 1K last night. The 2K is definitely the next target. And Mark says, Dan, the man buzzing like your cousin. Yeah, oh, love that. Love that. And hi, Anthony. Hope you're well. Good evening, Ben. Chappie says, have we woken up in a relative universe? Honestly, we are going into God mode, it seems. And it's me, Everest. Big up to yourself. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Mustafa, hope you're well. Look, there's so many hellos. And yeah, Nathan is my stepbrother, and Nathan is not a Baleba. Do you like what I did there, Nath? That was pretty good. That was pretty good, I thought. Nancy said, if it's following the rest, the facts we are talking about, the club, the player wants us, it would be mental. I agree. I absolutely agree. Now, listen, yeah. We got to talk about this because this dropped today. So the first thing that come out was, and big shout out to, look, when David Ornstein tweets about something, you know that there is something about it. You know that there's no smoke without fire. And there's no footballing news this summer, it seems, without David Ornstein. Now, David Ornstein via Indicator News says Man United contact Brighton via intermediaries to explore conditions of deal for Carlos Baleba. Brighton, obviously, and we know this, Brighton will not want to sell this lad. They will not want to sell this lad, and all sides are aware that this could be unrealistic, but United are keen and should know in the next couple of days if it's plausible or not. Now, there's a few things, right? There's a few things, and Siak, good to see you. And, of course, Moxie Shunley, OG in the house. Jamie, I've got something to say about that. Let's not get pessimistic just yet. And well, happy Wednesday, Brian Brigade. It's turning it into everything with the B. Brian Brigade, Baleba Brigade, Benjamin Brigade. Jesus Christ, we are a brigade. I think Baleba will bring balance to our team, and I hope Sesko is already done. Sesko is going to be done soon, 100%. 100%. And of course, Ben, no problem at all. But these are the next bits. Right, so let me get into the news. There is a feeling that if Baleba pushes, the deal could be done. Now, we go back to that whole thing that Manchester United have gone over this summer. The tagline of the summer, we will only go for players who are interested in playing for Manchester United. Remember those words. Brighton are known to be a selling club, generally for big profits. We know this as well. Baleba has shown early eagerness for this move. If he pushes and expresses his wishes to Brighton, it would make the deal more feasible. United knew that Brighton would want big money, And you know what? They fucking contacted anyway. Funds are there. Again, I'll talk about that later on. Otherwise, we would not have made contact. Now, this is just absolutely bonkers. This is bonkers. As Balaji says, I think Baleba would bring balance. We've said that one, I think. Carl says in football, every player has their price, whatever that might be. And Siat, you're right. We hope it does escalate. This has to escalate. Ahmed, hope you well, says, how confident are you with Baleba? I'm 80% confident. I'm not putting a percentage on it at the moment because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still it's in my head. I'm still justifying to myself how this has happened. I'm still justifying it. Ben, again, don't worry. I've got stuff on this. Andy, it's going to be north of 100 mil. It's going to be north of 100 mil. Absolutely. And yes, Blowy, good to see you, my friend. I've been great. We're talking about Baleba here. If you've just joined, we are talking about Baleba and the links to Manchester United. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button for Baleba. Just smash the shit out of it. Nubis says, fun fact, Baleba and Yoro used to be teammates at Lille and are best friends. This is very, very true. And Nathan Richrax, don't get me wrong, I want him. I just can't see us forking out the dough. Nathan, I'll ask you this, and I'll ask anybody in the chat here who is, like I was a couple of weeks ago, pessimistic about us doing these sort of things. Would we have looked at, in fact, let me ask you this. Final whistle. In Bilbao, we've just lost to Spurs. Would you have believed if I'd have told you then, do you know what? Next, in the summer transfer window, we're going to get Sesko and Buemo and we're going to get Cunha. There's no way you'd have believed it. Football happens. Football happens. And when it happens, you get on that fucking ride because it is going to be a bumpy one. And yes, Isaac, see you soon, mate. See you soon. So the other bits as well from this, and this is crucial. This is actually crucial. Ruben Amorim has absolutely identified Baleba as the midfielder he wants. Now, Ruben Amorim sees him as the perfect player for his midfield and 3-4-3 system. Oh, I love this, by the way. Oh, I love this. Look at this. Look at this. Daz says, free Sesko. It's amazing what you can buy when you find a few coins down the back of your sofa. Smash those likes. Daz, much love to you, my friend. As always, much love. But the other interesting part of this as well is, again, during the first meetings when Amorim stated to start to set his idea for the players he wanted for the future, the word he was repeating was intensity. We need players with intensity. Baleba is seen as the perfect player. And that wasn't from me. I didn't just type that myself. That was from Fabrizio Romano. That was from Fabrizio Romano. And she never makes me a copy. Mrs. Robinson hardly ever makes me a copy. I get one on my birthday if I'm lucky. So, chat, what are we thinking about this news? Now, there is no denying we had this chat when the Sesko news dropped, and I was sat there saying, but the midfield is in such a fucking mess. Carlos Baleba, 21 years old, known for his dynamic footballing ability, his aggression in the middle. This is the guy that comes in and sorts it. There was a guy in the chat. What was his name? Oh, there was when we were doing this early on, he kept coming in and saying, Baleba, we want Baleba, we want Baleba. And I was saying to him, dude, this isn't FIFA. We can't do this. But this is where we are, guys. Manchester United, I don't know what's happened. We sorted the Brian deal out, and after that happened, we went off on tour. We went to America, had a few games, and then all bets are off. We are going absolutely fucking mental. We're going absolutely mental. And Subra, great comment. This was said, Fabrizio Romano, do not underestimate Manchester United. And I will pull this up as well. Moxie says, it's not me, Dan. I said all along I'll give Barada and Wilcox up until the week before the Arsenal game. I have to bow down to you. I have to apologise because I was going mental. Dan, I think United are playing the game. They're going to make a few targets public, but then go for the one they want. Brighton are a hard ball team when it comes to transfers. I agree with that, Steve. I do agree with that, but I also go back to the fact that Manchester United will not put their name out there with a player unless there is interest from him. Now, the other bits and pieces have come from this. Where are we? I've got loads of notes on this. There was something I wanted to discuss. So everybody was saying that Brighton have said that we haven't got in contact. Well, no, you're right. We haven't. Intermediaries. We've done this through intermediaries, and there's something that the Brighton chairman said. Let me just find where I put it. Perfect. Where is it? Hang on. Yeah. I've got to find this because this is golden. This is golden. Did I get rid of right? So basically, what they've said, what the I think it's the chairman said. In fact, let me bring it up. I'll bring it up. Well, I don't even have to try and remember it, guys. So the Brighton CEO Paul Barber has said, we have not heard from Manchester United, and we are not wanting to sell Baleba. However, we hope he'll be here for years to come, but it's subject to the dynamics of the footballing world, which is not always predictable. And this is true. Never a truer word spoken. This is the chairman saying, no, we don't want to sell him, but it's football. We might. And Brighton have been that team for a long time, and they have done it so fucking well. Brighton have been a team that have got these midfield gems. They've found them. They've brought them through, and then they've sold them for big bucks. McAllister, Caicedo, there's two straight away for you. They know what their role is in the footballing world. They do. They absolutely do. And Nubish, you're absolutely right. In other words, if you're willing to pay, we are willing to sell. And I think that is the proper way to be looking at this transfer. Now, Manchester United have only done it through intermediaries at the moment. But I echo what I've just said before. David Ornstein tweeting this out. He doesn't tweet stuff out on a whim. You know, that's like my old Sunday League team being interested in fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. And Ornstein going, do you know what? Frankwell Fox is interested in Cristiano Ronaldo. There's no way it's going to happen. So he isn't going to do it. He will not be putting his name on anything this transfer window, considering how much success he has had this summer. There's no way he's putting his name on it for it to fall flat on its face. There is things happening. And the other thing I will say about this, I'm drinking from the bottle tonight. Do you know what? Fuck it. We're drinking from the bottle. It's Baleba. Drinking from the bottle. Drinking from the bottle. The other thing I want to say about this, there is a world, of course, we know how difficult the deal is. We know it's a difficult deal to do. So there's a world where Manchester United don't get Baleba. We don't go anywhere near it. You know, maybe we get told they want 150 million. United go, do you know what? Actually, no chance. But what this tells me, and what this should tell you guys, is simple. Manchester United know that they have to get the midfield sorted. So the fact that we're looking at Baleba tells you the profile of player that we want to go out there and get. Now, look, we missed out on Richard Rios. We have missed out on Douglas Luiz, it seems. But I am so fucking interested to see where we go with this. I am so interested. Blowy says, where did we get the money to afford an 85 million striker and probably more than 50 million pound midfielder? Blowy, it's simple. There's been so much coming out today about what Manchester United did with Cunha. Cunha's deal didn't go on this year's accounts. It went on last year's. And Manchester United were able to do this, and I did write notes on this because I didn't want to look a fucking fool. United were able to do this because the club's PSR calculation is based on the results of Red Football Limited, stripping out some chunky costs at the PLC level that don't come under the sphere of football activity. So what they essentially did is Manchester United put the Cunha deal before we started PSR. And that has freed up money that we didn't realise we had. This is why we went for Sesko. And let's not forget, at the moment, we haven't signed Sesko. So at the moment, the only payment we've done this summer is the first down payment for Mbeumo, for Brian. I keep saying Mbeumo, for Brian. Thank you, Blowy. Honestly, thank you. Much appreciation for that. So Manchester United, without us even realising it, pulled the wool over our eyes, pulled the wool over the fucking world's eyes, really, because I hear rival fans saying that Manchester United have not qualified for Europe. How can they afford this? Because what we've done, guys, is we've been sneaky sons of bitches. Sneaky sons of bitches. Now, you can go down the whole rabbit hole of PSR and Manchester United. We know that Manchester United make a heck of a lot year on year through sponsorship, through income, through all of that. So how the fucking hell have we not known about this until now? And how the fucking hell, following that, are we now linked with one of the most promising midfielders in the Premier League? I can't. And you know something, Ahmed? But smash a like on this. This is Manchester United we are talking about. This is the new Manchester United we are talking about. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Now, Arsenal and Liverpool made an inquiry to doubt Baleba. That's stupid to choose teams that have Rice and McAllister not guaranteeing playing time. Do Liverpool go for Baleba? If Liverpool are going for Isaac, and who have they been linked with today? The PSG boy as well. I don't think they go for Baleba. I think United, if they want this, have a free hit. I genuinely do. I think they have a free hit. Kev, yes, Kev, my man. Honestly, we need to switch. We need to sort details out with each other, buds. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Barcola, that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much. Let's just have a quick look. The 12th man chat's popping off here. No, sorry. The 12th man chat are just laughing at Arsenal because Gyökeres didn't score again today. Bit early for that, I think. Bit early for that. And look at this. I don't care. Fuck PCR. I just need Carlos Baleba. And Giles says, Garnacho looks to be heading to Saudi Arabia, also 70 million. So we get 25 million. I do not know if it's extra cash gets tripled with PSR. One thing I can tell you all now. There you go. Thank God you did that, Giles. I was about to say. I was going to say Garnacho ain't going anywhere near that. But there are other factors that help us this summer, and which is why I genuinely feel like Manchester United, even though it's the fucking 6th of August, I feel like Manchester United are about to go on a madness. I do. I feel like we're about to go on a madness because Garnacho, Chelsea, that is going to happen. We know that. That is going to happen. The Greenwood news keeps floating about, the fact that Marseille have slapped a 90 million euro fee on to Mason Greenwood. Why have they put that much? Well, we know why. Because Manchester United, bizarrely doing the right thing for once, have put a sell-on clause there. 50%. A 50%. And that means that we get more money. So Manchester United, I tell you what, here's the bizarre thing. Imagine Greenwood goes to Saudi tomorrow. Manchester United would have made about 70 million on transfers for players this summer that haven't played for the club for over 12 months. That's just the Manchester United way. It's fucking bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. And Jamie, of course we'd rather get Baleba. I agree. We absolutely would rather Baleba. And Tonknash, yes, this is what I like to see. This is what I like. Do you know what I feel like? I don't feel like dancing. Not just yet. The dance will come if we get Baleba. You see these? They're moving. I'm moving. This could get crazy. Okay? This could get crazy. Manchester United, who have been laughed at for the last 12 months. And I've had to take that laughing from the Football's 12th man lot. I've had to take it from rival fans. I've even had to take it from Debs from work, who's a fucking Tottenham fan, who's probably never been to a game in her life. I've had to take all of that. But you know something? I would take that if by the end of this transfer window, we have got a Baleba-esque midfielder, Sesko up top, we've got Cunha and we've got Mbeumo, and we've got a keeper in the sticks. When you talk about a new Manchester United, folks, that is what it is right there. Right fucking there. Nubis says we still need a goalkeeper with Onana. No matter who we sign, we'll lose 20 points because of him. Ben says, did you see the news about Newcastle left Matt Taggart behind in South Korea and didn't realise until they landed back? I know, honestly. Missed another Taggart. I like that. Oh, I love that. And Isaac's back now. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you back. And Queen Sophie in the house. Smash those likes and hit the subscribe. Manchester United are going fucking mental now. They're going mental. It's berserk. And Andy, you're right. What a couple of weeks we have had. So this is another thing. This is what I was talking about before I went off on one. I went off on a tangent there. Manchester United could still make so much more money this summer. We've done so good at bringing players in. I mean, fucking hell, it turns out that Manchester United all of a sudden are fucking mint at bringing players in. Like, who knew? And the right players. For so long, we've been incredible at bringing in the wrong players. This summer, we've flipped it, and now we're bringing in the right players. It's just, it literally baffles me. Ginny Esther, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. How's Newcastle fans feeling? Sesko done deal now. A midfield, what's happening to my club? Says Jordan. We need Donnarumma. Oh, right. Honestly, imagine Just imagine Manchester United pull off the absolute fucking madness and bring Baleba and Donnarumma. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not that fan sitting here and going, oh, we're bringing everyone in. But if they brought in those two players with Sesko, what the hell? Danielle, the wife, keeps telling me I swear too much, so I'm going to try and curb that tonight. I'm going to try and curb that. And then I saw his face. Now I'm a believer. Honestly. You might find a problem, though, Dan. If you do slightly overspend, clubs will know you need to sell. Yeah, and I do think there is still, and Isaac, you make a fantastic point on this. I do still think there is a massive element here of Manchester United needing to just remember that, yeah, okay, we sorted the Cunha deal out before the end of PSR last term, but let's not put ourselves in a situation where next summer we are sat here going, we might have to bring Igalo back. We might have to sign Ben Foster because we ain't got any fucking money. I swore again then. Sorry, Mrs. Robinson. We have to make sure we don't fall into that trap because Manchester United for such a long time turned into being that team that overspent. And I tell you what they did. Lived for today, not planning for tomorrow. That's what they did. Look at that. I'm like, you know what you did. Ben says, if we get Sesko, Baleba and Donnarumma over the line, what position are you saying we finish in next season? Do you know what? Let's put a poll. Let's put a fucking poll. I think that deserves a poll. I think we haven't done a poll yet. Okay. So hang on a minute. And I watched my video back last night and I realised that my typing is really loud. So I'm sorry about that. Dream scenario. Hang on, let me put a comma. Donnarumma, spelt that fucking wrong. Baleba, and who else did you say there, Ben? Who else did you say, my man? And Sesko, of course, Sesko, of course, and Sesko. And Sesko, where do we finish? I was typing like a fucking moron there. I'll go second to fifth. I'll go fifth to eighth. I'm just going to put them because United don't finish below 8 for those fucking signings. There we go. Have at it, chat. Have at it. Put your votes in there. Sophie, thank you very much. You have been a big part of that as well, my friend. You have been here since the start, helping out with getting people to like, getting people to subscribe. So thank you very much. I much appreciate that. Really, really do. Tamils says we sell Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho, Rashford, Malacia, and we can afford Donnarumma in the midfield. This is it, though. But this is where we need to be careful. We have to make these sales. Like Manchester United are riding on a wave. I am as well. I am riding on a wave of positivity, emotion, bare emotion for the youngsters. That's how they talk. We could still see this come crashing down. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I said to you all yesterday, and I don't worry, I'll get through some more of the comments here. I said to you all yesterday, for all this positivity that we're seeing here, this will mean absolute jack shite if by the end of the transfer window on deadline day, we have got Anthony being spotted at fucking Betis Airport. We've got Garnacho seen in a car driving down to London. We've got Malacia applying at Asda. We've got Sancho refusing to go anywhere. This has to be done right. Manchester United can't just rest on the laurels of appeasing the fans with the incomings. We want the outgoings just as much. So Manchester United fans need to remember that and need to remind the club of this. We can't just be bought like that. We have to stay true to what we need with this club because we don't want toxicity staying at this club. We don't want a window where it's the middle of October and you've got Sancho still at the club, still spreading bad vibes, toxicity. Okay, so Manchester United, for all their positives, this could still come crashing down. It needs to change with the outgoings. Why the fuck would we sign Igalo type of player when we got Sesko? Igalo type of player? I think. Well, no. What I meant by that was Magnifico is next season when we've spent all of our fucking money and we can't bring anybody in for a transfer fee. We go out and get a free transfer like that. Sorry, I should have explained that.
Mark says hit the like, and he is absolutely right. Make sure you're hitting the like, people. And Giniesta says top 5 if United get Donnarumma and Manyan. I can never say his fucking name. Nuba says top 6. Carl says not United news, but how have Spurs only sold some for 20 million? I get he is old, but thought they'd have got more for him. LAFC got a bargain. I think it's, mate, I think it was. With that, I'm not a Spurs fan, so I don't want to, elaborate on it too much. But I think because he's been such a good servant to them, they were never going to try and price him out of a move. I think it was a nice touch letting the guy go and do what he's doing. And Moxie says I'm still going for between 5th and 8th. There's nothing wrong with that, Moxie. There's a bit of realism there. Love that. Ben, I think top 4. What else have we got here? Isaac says, I think you could potentially push for UCL, however, really light in depth, in my opinion. And that is absolutely true, Isaac, because you bring in these star players. If 3 out of the 5 of them get injured, we're back to pretty much the same squad as last season. So Manchester United have to make sure that they're inputting in this squad. And also they have to make sure that the players that are staying behind, if I had a spider on me then, the players that are staying behind, Ruben Amorim has to make sure his coaching needs to be better players who are ready to come in and take the next step with Manchester United. Ferdinand says 5th. Peter Red says 21 is coming. Got to be pushing 5th. The team will need a few games to click. I agree with that. Let's have a look at the poll quickly, guys. Let's have a look at the poll. So second, bloody hell, right? Okay, so guys, there's a few more of you in here, so make sure you're having a vote here. But 72% of you, are saying between 2nd and 5th. I love the excitement. I love the excitement there. Sophie says, shame I'm currently falling out of love with football at the moment. And Sophie, I can see why. I can honestly see why. And Andy says, what a fantastic fan base we have. What a fantastic community we have. By the way, people, I'm telling you now, if you're new, if you're an OG, if you've been with us a couple of weeks, this community is phenomenal. We are rising, okay? We are building a phenomenal community here. And that is because of the conversations you have with each other in the chat. That is the questions that you put to me about football. And more importantly, it's about you guys not always agreeing with what I say. That's what we're here for. We can't all agree about everything. That's why we're talking out. Balaji says, I believe if we sign Baleba and another goalkeeper, we'll fight top 4. I love the fact that we're thinking this. And Anthony says our women's team must be worth 400 million. Just saying, that must be the ace in the hole we have. Don't be surprised if Manchester United get to the end of the transfer window, realise they can't sell these players, and go, oh, by the way, we're selling the women's team to another part of our company. Don't be surprised. I don't understand why all United channels are talking about Newcastle. I'm not from England. Is there any beef between United and Newcastle? There shouldn't be, Nubis. There shouldn't be. Certainly from my part, there's no beef with Newcastle. I think the media play a part in that because Manchester United and Newcastle United have been linked with several players together, and Manchester United have pulled 3 that were linked, and there are people that say Cunha wasn't linked, so I'm not going to sit here and say all 3 were linked. But because of that, the media love to stir the pot. And also, let's be honest, people on Twitter love to stir the pot. I love the Newcastle guys. I think they're guys and girls. I think they're brilliant people. I've never had a bad word to say about them. Nick says, Man United are the only club who have not even made one sale this window so far. Let's hope this happens soon. I agree too. We need one of the top 4 to slip us for us to get in there. Siat, do you know something? I'm going to say something about this. The top 4 are the top 4. Manchester United, even if we get these signings in, even if we bring the best of the best in, we are still absolutely, like you said, we're going to have to rely on one of them not having a very good season. But I don't want to be that fan that says, that's it, everything's fixed. We haven't got Baleba, okay? These are just reports. Sesko, we're just waiting for the here we go. We still need a goalkeeper. There is still a lot of work to be done here, but we should be allowed to get gassed because at the start of the transfer window, we were thinking we're going to end up with Wilfred and Ndidi as our CDM. Things change. People change. People change. That was a bit fucking deep. Isaac says it's about getting the balance right. Sell too many too early and the clubs know you've got some money to spend. Don't sell enough and the clubs know you're desperate for sales. I like you, Isaac. You speak a lot of sense. Malasira adds to every little helps. Fucking hell. Tonknash says, damn, mate, I think Ineos and Omar knows what they are doing. They just trust the process. Ranić said we need open heart surgery. I tell you something. If we sign the players we're linked to,
open heart surgery. I said that we were only being wheeled down the operating table. We are under anaesthetic here. We are under local anaesthetic at this point if we sign those players. We're getting ever closer. I think he only had 1 year left, maybe 2. I think it's only 1. Nubis, there's no rival. Yeah, exactly that. We only have a game a week, says Ahmed. This is another factor, isn't it? If we bring these players in with 1 game a week, we should. If we bring these players in with 1 game a week, Manchester United have no excuses this summer to not be pushing at the right end of the table. And I'm not saying first, second, third, but we should be in the mix of Europe without fail. Without fail. I'm saying 5th to 8th. Anything else is a bonus. Nothing wrong with that. We don't need injuries down. We will lose half our squad in December and January for AFCON. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm sipping from the bottle tonight, yo. This is Baleba. I'm a Baleba. I'm a right Baleba. I fucking love Ribena. I absolutely love Ribena. Sophie and Jeannie, my mates, a season to go older. He's just over it a bit. Yeah, honestly, Newcastle fans are really struggling with this at the moment. We had a raid last night from Isaac, so I can't expect him to do it all the time. And do you know what? We've got plenty of people in here tonight who are having a decent chat about Manchester United. What else have we got here? Oh, look who's here. Big up, Ryan. Big up, Ryan. Ryan. I'll ask this question to the Arsenal fans in the house, Ryan in particular. If Manchester United were to do an absolute madness, and, you know, it's not even looking... I'm not even going 50% with this yet. I think Manchester United, for me, are 30% of a chance of us getting Baleba. But there's always a chance. That changes everything first game of the season with a Sesko, a Baleba, Cunha, a Brian, Bruno. That changes everything. So I just wonder if clubs will start looking at Manchester United expecting a bit more. Dan, out of 10, what do you rate the transfer window at the moment? Well, at the moment, Andy, I can't say because let me just check. Let me just check and see if there's any news about Sesko. Sesko. No, there's still no news about Sesko. So at the moment, I would have to still say that I give the transfer window a 6 out of 10. I give him a 5 out of 10 at the moment. Until we get Sesko, that will move up to a 6.5. We still need that midfielder. We still need the goalkeeper. And yeah, thank you very much, Ryan. Make sure, guys, if you are new, hit the subscribe button. We hit 1K yesterday. We are moving on up and pushing up for higher targets. This was an old one, wasn't it? Manchester United and Newcastle, but it was more Keegan. But do you know something? Sir Alex Ferguson used to literally do this with every manager. He used to do this with every manager. The only manager that I don't think Fergie got anything over was Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, and maybe Pep, actually, when we played in Champions League. Jose Mourinho would never bite because Jose Mourinho had the same idealisms of Sir Alex Ferguson. Not just trying to beat a team on the pitch, but beat the manager off it psychologically. And of course, we'll be doing a Fiorentina watch-along. Of course we will. We want to see Sesko with that shirt up. That's got to happen. That would be great PR for Manchester United. If they can get that done, get the here we go and get him over holding the shirt, that'd be incredible. Dan, you bring the luck. Since I started watching you, we have been cooking in the transfer window. Don't say that. You've just cursed us all now. You've cursed us all. Every time I hear Baleba, makes me think of Justin Bieber fans. Christ almighty, don't do that. And Ryan says, Dan, I'll wait until the transfer window closes. Now, there is other news before I go back into the chat, guys. I will dip back into the chat in a second. The other news with this is, where are we? Aha, there you are, you little ripper. The news with Sesko is simple. Fabrizio Romano tweeted this before, that this is getting closer and closer. There is an agreement on the contract, I believe, until 2030 with a year to extend. But Manchester United look to have won this race with Sesko. And I want to know, what I want to know with you guys. Oh, hang on a second. Is this legit? Because if this is legit, that's the day that I get the main man on the back of my shirt. The thing I want to know about this is with Manchester United signing Sesko, we spoke about this in detail last night, so I don't want to push too much on it. But what I want to know from the fans in here now is if we sign Sesko,
How many goals? Put it in the chat. I only want to know the number. How many goals are you expecting Sesko to score for Manchester United? Considering, and I want you to do, before you comment, I want you to remember this. The kid hasn't, and I'll say the kid because he's 22, I'm 38. I'm a lot older than him. The kid hasn't scored more than 14 league goals in a season. So I want to know how many goals you think Sesko could and should score for Manchester United when he joins us. So Nubis is well, here we go. Sophie comes in with 10 to 15. Nubis says 15. Oh, honestly, Ribena, man. If you had the upbringing I had, we couldn't afford Ribena when I was younger. It was Roller Cola and Tesco's cheap blackcurrant. I met Mrs. Robinson and doors just opened. Let's get back to these goals. Ryan says 17. Nubis says 15. Ben goes with 25. 25 goals. Ben, if he scores that, mate. Ben, remember these words at the end of the season. If he scores 25 league goals, I will buy you next season's shirt with Sesko on the back of it. Nathan says 15. I think 15 is a decent number. I genuinely feel like 15 is a decent look. It's Me Everest says 11. Mark says should get 16 and we'll get 8. I love that. I love that comment. That's the biggest bottle I've ever seen. Akko, honestly, that is no, I'm not. You know what? You could get a lot of mistaken comments from that. All comps somewhere in the high to mid teens. Okay, Isaac, do you mean so FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League? Okay, if that's fair. Roller Cola. If you don't know what Roller Cola, you definitely know what Roller Cola is, Ryan. Guys, if you don't know what Roller Cola is, you haven't lived. Yeah, it's definitely kit release on the 12th of the 8th. Fantastic. Akko says 20 plus goals. Peter Red says first season 12, second season over 20. Second season over 20. Moxie goes 16. Chappie says married into money. Did you, Dan? If Mrs. Robinson's in the chat, she'll definitely attest to that. No, I do okay. I do okay. The world of insurance does me okay. All comes. No, I tell you what. We're just going to go the Premier League. I just want to know how many goals in the Premier League. Simple as that. Probably will be 15. I think he did 15 at Salzburg and then did 15 when he moved to Leipzig. Vice versa, man. Vice versa with fucking ace. And Mark says you'll probably get about 15. Okay. I was just interested to know. Ryan says 4. Siat says 19. So I think the general consensus here is that we think as a community here, and Isaac goes 12 to 15. We in a community here, we think that Sesko will come in and get goals in the teens. Now, I don't have to remind you all that no Manchester United player has scored over 20 goals since Robin van Persie when we won the Premier League 12 years ago. I don't have to remind you of that. And the reason I ask you all this is because I want to gauge where everybody's expectations are with this kid. And the reason I want to get the expectations here is because we brought a young striker in. Now, some would say that he come with promise. I wasn't sold because he was so young at the time. But we brought Rasmus Højlund in. And Rasmus Højlund didn't get double figures like that. He didn't do that. He didn't get anywhere near 20. I'm not sure he's got near 20 in 2 seasons for Manchester United joint together. So what I am saying here is we need to, considering the money that we're spending, we need to err a bit of caution with this. And I'm happy to see that your goal predictions are between the sort of 12 to 18 mark, because I think for a striker of his caliber, for the promise he's shown, for what he's been able to do in the Bundesliga, I think that's a decent bracket for us to look at him as a striker. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Mark says, I think if you get Donnarumma and Sesko, you'll be top 4. I love that. I fucking love that. And yeah, you definitely know what Roller Cola is, Nath. Don't even try that. Don't even try that, my guy. If he doesn't get 5 in, so he has a different option than he did last season. I think he said front 3 midfielder and goalkeeper. Right, okay, that's what you mean. I see what you mean. Let's see what this stream's doing with the votes. So 72% of you are saying 2nd to 5th. So we're ending the poll on that, 2nd to 5th. Do you want my honest opinion? If Manchester United were to sign all of those players, if Manchester United were to sign Sesko, Baleba, and remember, I'm 30% with Baleba, 30% we get him, and Donnarumma. Guys, I think we solidify fifth. I think fifth is a target that Manchester United could absolutely achieve with that. I genuinely feel like we could absolutely achieve fifth, because I thought that was Kev outside there. Every time he hears some bloody randoms outside, I think it's Kev running outside saying something, because that is a caliber of player that you're bringing in that can come in and do the business. Dandelion and Burdock was fucking lovely. I love Dandelion and Burdock. And Ben says, I think he'd have 10 to 15 by Christmas. And Ryan comes in and says, Ben, you sniffing glue, bro? I think he's just confident. There's nothing wrong with confidence. You also think about the players around Sesko. Will he be better than what Rasmus had? Absolutely. Absolutely. I will say that. As much as I still to this day I will die on that sword that I would have rathered Watkins. I will take that into next season. I will, even if at the end of the season, by some divine miracle, Manchester United are lifting the Premier League, I will still sit there and go, I'd have rathered Watkins, though. I would rather Watkins, and anybody who tries clipping me, I don't think United are winning the Premier League, so don't do that. And yeah, I said this in another stream. It does have echoes of that Rasmus deal, but I think Sesko is slightly different. However, I have always caveated, I can't even say that word, caveated it with a lot of Bundesliga strikers seeming struggle. Look, there's no denying that Bundesliga strikers have come over here in the past and struggled. The biggest one will be Werner for me. Werner come with so much promise. I remember United and Liverpool were fighting out for him at one point, and then he went to Chelsea, and he absolutely bombed. It was horrendous. Horrendous. Sophie says 6 to 8 for me. Well, that's decent, Sophie, because you had us at 12 at one point, so something must be happening. And Ginny Esther says, Dan, would you accept a 20 million bid for Maguire if it was up to you? Here we go. Let me try this. Let me take a sip for this. Hang on. Okay, you ready? You ready? Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no. I'll tell you what, Kev, I reckon there's a riot inside. There's a lad with a Bayern Munich shirt, Kev. Have a look outside now. I love the fact that my neighbour next door one watches this. Hell no. I don't want Maguire anywhere near the exit door for Manchester United. Anywhere near. In fact, I tell you what, let's put that on the fucking poll right now. Let's put that on the poll right now. In fact, no, we did it last night. I think we did it last night. We know that we know we don't want him to go anywhere near. We know we don't want him to go anywhere near any other club. Maguire, for me, he's done his time of being mocked and being lambasted and people blaming everything on him. This guy's come through it all. He is the right character we need at Manchester United. And I will go toe-to-toe with any Manchester United fan and say that. In a world where Manchester United was filled full of toxic people who were there about the name on the back of the shirt rather than the name on the front of the shirt, you had Harry Maguire that still stuck at it. That guy's mentality, class, top class. I don't think any United fan really ever thought Rasmus would get 15 goals or even 10. Well, yeah. I mean, there was that little burst when he got 6 in a row, wasn't there? Don't like cream soda. Don't like it. Don't like it. And It's Me Everest goes with a modest 7th. Nothing wrong with that. Dan, if you need to ask the question slightly different, in the Prem, how would you rate the dream scenario starting 11 out of the 20 teams? Isaac, I think it's about a long day. If you need to ask the question slightly differently in the Prem, how would rate the dream scenario start? Oh, right, the starting 11 out of the 20 teams. Fucking hell, we could be here for hours doing that, Isaac. At the moment, Manchester United wouldn't have many players in there at all. That might be one for a video, though, Isaac. That might be one for a video. And It's Me Everest. I've always been a Harry Maguire lover. Well, not always, but I've been not always. I've had my moments with him, but I respect what he's done. I respect how he has got through it and what he has done with himself and how he stuck to the task. And let's be honest, we know for a fact Ruben Amorim absolutely loves him. I think as long as Ruben Amorim's here, Harry Maguire will be here for a while. His contract ends at the end of this season coming. I think he'll sign a new one. What would I accept for Harry Maguire? 70 million, mate. You pay 70 million, I'll let him go. Big up, Dan. Can you get Nuruddin on for a show? Potentially I could. Potentially. You'd have to hit me up though. Where are we? And we can't afford to accept a bid for Maguire as we'd be left short at centre. This is the other thing as well. Actually, Manchester United can't afford to let him go anyway. So yeah, let's just remember. Let's put a pecking order here of players that are unsellable. You can clip this up. You can do what you want, but with the defenders we have and the injuries we have, he's unsellable at the moment. He's that important. He is that important. Dean says, Rude, how are you? I missed you guys. Manchester United for life. I am great, Dean. And how are you, my friend? I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling blessed, especially at the fact that we are getting Benjamin Sesko. And yes, as It's Me Everest says, everybody liked the stream. What likes are we on for the stream? I didn't even see. Let me have a look. Let me have a little look. Let me look. We're on 44 likes for the stream, guys. So let's get that up to 50. If you haven't liked it already, hit the like button. Let's get up to 50 likes on this stream if we can. And of course, as he said as well, sub to us if you're new. Sub to us if you are new. Don't worry, Isaac. I'm half asleep with that anyway, mate. I've had a massive day. Massive day. Siat says, I would accept 40 to 50 million for Maguire. Man, come on now. It's got to be 70. I'm not even chat. I'm not even fucking joking. I'm not even joking. I will sit here and tell you now, it would take a bid of 70 million for Maguire to leave Manchester United in my eyes. I ain't letting that guy go anywhere. I'm holding him close. I am holding him close. What else? I'm just have a quick look on Twitter and see if there's anything been. Okay, hang on a minute. See, they're all coming out about it now. They're all coming out about it. Even James Ducker now at the Telegraph saying that there's interest. However, this makes sense. Brighton do want to keep him for another year, but this is growing. There's more and more of the big boys coming out and saying stuff. Ben Jacobs has said it. They're all doing it. Dan, do you know what that there are more failed comps of Maguire on YouTube than goal or defence comps? Lol. Do you know what? If anybody knows who Andy Tate is, he was like when United had Moisey. He was like the one that everybody watched on YouTube, and he was famed for saying, "Don't care." And I genuinely, honestly, It's Me Everest. You could play me on loop for the next 24 hours. You could play it for the next 6 months. Compilation of him failing. I love him. I love the bloke. Can't deny Slabhead went from outcast to super savior Harry Ronaldo at one point. He thought and again, that is a great comment. We were all happy last season at some point to say chuck Aaron Maguire up front. We know how good he was up front compared to what we had. So it's just bonkers. It's bonkers. And Pet, yeah, that's mad. That is. And subscribe. What have you? Yes, I agree. It's me, Everest. I'm not mad. I'm being serious. Into the mic. 70 million for Maguire. I'm not even joking. That's how much I want to keep him here. What else have we got? And what have we got here? Let me retype the question. Instead of asking where you think they'll finish, rank the dream scenario starting 11 compared to the other 11s in the league. Oh, right. Okay. So dream scenario, I'd put Man United 5th. I put United 5th. And guys, if you want to answer the question that Isaac's just put there, dream scenario of transfers this summer. So I'm assuming the way we're talking with Sesko, Baleba, and Donnarumma, where would Manchester United finish compared to the other starting 11s in the league? I go 5th. I still go 5th with it, to be fair. Still go 5th. And I watched the boys on Loaded Mag about this. It seems to be going quite decent for him, doesn't it? 5th or 6th. There we go. Andy Tate is that? Yeah, he's the high pitched guy. He is. He's the guy that was like Moise. What did he say? You're nothing. You're a fool, and you're a waste of time. Goodbye. He was fuming, that guy. That was the season when Moyes took over from Manchester United from Sir Alex Ferguson, and just absolutely shit the bed. Absolutely shit the bed. We were awful. And Ben, I can see that question straight away. I'm going to be honest with you. We need to get rid of players because they're not good enough for our club. Brighton know exactly what type of player they want. There is no way they would take anyone from Manchester United. They wouldn't take Garnacho because Garnacho is just a pleb. They wouldn't take Anthony. I don't think they'd even look at Anthony. Sancho, are you having a laugh? And Rasmus, I don't think they take Rasmus because they've just got rid of Evan Ferguson, who is basically the Irish Rasmus. So
No, there'd be no way we could offload anybody. There'd be no way. Also, guys, remember, I've been saying this for weeks. Do you remember when I said to you all, there is a world where Casemiro leaves in this transfer window? Well, this is your world. This is the world I'm talking about. If Manchester United were to go in for Baleba, you better believe that is the transfer we'd see leaving the club. Manchester United, Casemiro in particular, if we got a player like Baleba in, Casemiro would sit there and go, I ain't playing, am I? Right, I ain't playing. I'm going to have to fuck off here because it's the World Cup year. Manchester United are doing exactly what they should be doing. And I'd take fucking hell. I'd take anyone over Garnacho. I'd take anyone. I'd take anyone. He's an absolute fool. Cheeto would probably be the only one, but I think United would want to loan him out because they would want to develop him himself. Cheeto Obi's a tough one. I had a conversation with someone about Cheeto Obi. If Manchester United end up keeping Rasmus instead of selling him or loaning him out, Cheeto Obi, I think, will go out on loan. I think the closer it gets to the end of the transfer window, I feel like Manchester United would say, okay, we're keeping Rasmus. Cheeto, you're going to have to go out on loan. I do think that. And Chappie, you're right. We will have to see if the players gel and can play to the system. But the one thing I will say in response to this comment about the players will have to gel and see if they can play in the system is this. The Manchester United players seem to have gelled incredibly. They look a happier outfit. I mean, look, it's not hard. By the end of last season, a lot of them looked out on their feet, didn't they? They looked mentally, it must have been draining, regardless of the fact we know that they were shit and they should have done better. But mentally, it must have been so draining to get in every game, to go to every game every week and have a feeling they were going to lose. Because I'll happily say that. I'm not too proud as a Manchester United fan to sit here and say that come March time, I expected us to lose every game. I did. The formation wasn't working. The players we had weren't working. And this goes back to what I say about Everton. This is what I go back to saying about Everton. The midfield is extremely important because without a decent midfielder, we are going to start the season with Ugarte, who can't play. Okay? Ugarte, absolutely, he terrifies me. He terrifies me the way he picks the ball up. He terrifies me the way he tries to run with the ball. He terrifies me by the way he gets played out of position. He terrifies me by the way that if he doesn't control the ball right, he is going to try and bring someone down. The guy terrifies me. Remember, he's only been with us a season. He's only been with us a season. Mark my words, Ugarte, I think, will be another player we'll try and get rid of next season. 100%. 100%. Look, I mean, this is all if buts and maybes at the moment. This Ugarte could start against Arsenal, have an absolute madness, and then I'm sat here talking to you lot, going, I don't know what do I think now? But it just doesn't. It seems a bit odd that Manchester United now, after the whole tour, now we are going balls deep, balls in for a midfielder. And I will reiterate this. And if you have just joined, I will reiterate this. Regardless of the fact, if we don't get Baleba, and that deal looks a very, very tough one. It looks, I'm at 30% with it. I'm in the 30% club that we get him. Okay? 30% chance, should I say. Make no mistake, it does just show something else that Manchester United will go out there and look for a midfielder. Now, this will boil down to a couple of things. Have Manchester United got the planning in place? Have they got a backup plan in case of this? Because the argument I would say to you all is, do you know something? Baleba is absolutely quality. But for what we're going to try and pay for Baleba, you could have got a Richard Rios. You could have got a Douglas Luiz. That's two midfielders you could have brought in. Hell, you could have even gone out there and got, what's his name? Edison. You know, there are other midfielders that we could have gone and spent that money on. So Manchester United, as much as I admire the fact we are looking at these players with such a high ceiling of talent available to them, you know, such a high level of ability available to them, let's make sure that we're doing the right moves. If we sign Baleba, I ain't going to sit here and go, what the hell are we doing? But we need to be savvy. We need to be savvy of what we're doing, is what I'm saying. I'm trying not to be negative. This is Baleba news. What am I fucking talking about? Niche fan, good to see you, my friend.
Jamie says, would you keep Rasmus to fight for his place and play cup matches? It's a tough one with Rasmus, because with Rasmus, he's not an arsehole. Like, you see some of these players we're trying to get rid of at the club. Rasmus isn't an arsehole. He's a Manchester United fan. He knows he's not been good enough. Didn't like the excuses he pulled. And he was like, when I signed here, you had Anthony Martial who couldn't stay fit. I played a lot more football. I don't like that. But he's a nice bloke. He seems a nice guy, and he seems like he loves the club. But there comes a moment where you have to turn around and say, it's not enough. He's not good enough. And that's why, for me, I would rather see him go. But then actually, if you deep it, and I've said this again for a while, I'd rather see Xerxes go, and I keep him over Xerxes. Dean says, rude, with the way things are going with our transfer so far, if things go well, believe me, the other teams are shaking right now, because this Man U is top level for me. It's top 4. And Manchester United fans, you will, I think, you'll have your friends at work, you'll have colleagues, you'll have family, you'll have all sorts of people in your life that last season laughed at you for being a Manchester United fan. Make no mistake about it. Believe me when I say this, if we make these signings, these people won't be laughing anymore, because these people are already sat there in their own heads going, how the fuck have United done this? How have I just gone from watching the worst Manchester United team in history in the Premier League to them signing these players? They will already be panicking. Rival fans are already panicking. Believe that. Believe that. Yes, and keep hitting those likes and hit the subscribe button, guys. We are definitely pushing up. And it is absolutely because of the people here in the show. Moxie says, I've said before, the difference of Amorim being right among the players, running training in pre-season and shutting the bomb squad out. The difference between the squad morale is night and day. And it absolutely is. And look, if you were to rate Amorim on this pre-season, I'd be rating him a 7 out of 10. Maybe an 8 out of 10. Because he's done the right things. He's identified already, and he's told the ownership, these players are not going to play for me. He's gone out there and said, get rid of them. Jace. Yeah, Jace Wilcox. Yeah, it's Ruben. Yeah, they ain't playing for me, son. Get rid of them. Okay, we haven't got rid of them yet, but he has completely done his part. They will not be anywhere near us. Saudis won't take this. They're going to offer £1 million a week after tax to players and then loan them back to Newcastle with an option to buy. If that doesn't violate FFP, as I understand it, it's fair enough. That fucking moth's back, by the way, guys. That fucking moth. Did you see that then? The size of the fucking thing. And Maguire off 50 likes. Guys, let's make sure we're trying to hit those likes up tonight. Let's make sure we're hitting those likes up. It'd be great if we could hit 50 likes. If we're a Harry Maguire over from 50 likes, we're 4 away now, guys. Guys, there's 41 of you in the show right now. If you haven't already, just hit that like button. It costs nothing to do so, and it'll get me to 50 likes. That would be incredible. Newcastle will fall to a mid to low table team now as they can't sign anyone. I disagree. I disagree with that. And the reason I disagree with that is because as much as it's not gone right for Newcastle, they've got one person there that can absolutely lead them through this mess. And that is Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe has done things. He's been miraculous things since he's been in charge of that club. Hell, when he took him over, they were struggling. He took him up the table. Then the next season, he gets some Champions League. Yeah? This guy is a great manager. A great manager. So my only concern would be if it doesn't start very well, considering the owners have let Newcastle down so much, I'd be terrified if I was a Newcastle fan, because if it doesn't go right, they would absolutely utilize the option to try and appease the fans by saying, oh, well, Eddie's gone. We'll bring someone else in, bring a big name in, and it'll all be forgotten. Where have you heard that before? Where have you heard that before, guys? I can picture Baleba in our shirt already. Oh, it's a beautiful fort, that is. It's a stunning fort. And as Sophie says, smash the likes and subscribe and take care all. Thank you very much, Sophie. I'll see you soon. I won't see you soon. I mean, I'll see you on another stream. That was, yeah. That's because of Mrs. Robinson, that is. I'd like Rasmus to say and see if he does get better service and come off the bench than keep him. I'm with you, Dan. I'd rather Xerxes go. I don't get it with him. I don't get... Do you know something? There's only a few of you in here, but I don't mind doing this. Who would you keep? Who would you keep? Simple question. Rasmus
or Xerxes? Rasmus or Xerxes? Who would you rather keep? Rasmus or Xerxes? Simple question. Simple. And wow, yeah, that's incredible, guys. That is incredible news. That is brilliant. No, Dan, we're not top 4 just yet, says Steve. Top 4 teams have spent a lot as well. We're playing catch up, but going in the right direction for Project 150. Project 150, I'm telling you, we got to be careful with that. Mrs. Robinson, Dan opened his wallet. She knows that all too well. Niche fan says the 1958 protests are going to be in another dimension now due to all the sacking of the staff members. All of a sudden, we're getting Baleba. How do I say this without the sackings of the staff is a tough one because we don't actually know what all these staff did. It's never nice people losing their jobs, so I'm not sitting here saying it was justified. But at the same time, I feel like Ineos are doing a very good job of trying to get people to forget it, is what I'm saying. I think Ineos are doing a very good job of trying to get people to forget about that. Rival fans will remind us of this. But the Ineos way of looking at it, yeah, I think they're doing a very good job of trying to mask that. One away from look at that, one away from 50. And Xerxes is class. Is he though, Sia? Is he? Is Xerxes class? I mean, he does a spinneroonie. I've never been his biggest fan. I thought he was gone in January. I thought we were going to get rid straight away. I don't look at Xerxes and go, this guy is a baller. I look at him and go, yeah, he's got a few tricks, but he was nowhere near consistent for me. He's got to do more. He's got to do so much more to win me over this season. Xerxes is a better footballer. Okay. Dan, you can definitely see Sophie soon if you go to Newcastle away game. Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe. In fact, no, it'll be a watch long. I can't do that. Project 150, by the way, it's me, Everest, is Barada's promise to the United fans that we will win the Premier League on our 150th year as a football club, which is in 2028. And it was the most ridiculous thing that anybody has ever said. I would have rather him say we will be challenging by that time, and I could have got on board with that. But yeah, we ain't winning the fucking league in 2028. Thing with Xerxes, he's more versatile and can play in the 10 positions. He also has only been there for one season, so I feel like he'll get a second to prove himself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But do you know what Xerxes' problem is, Ginesta? And Sia and Niche fan. This is my problem. With the new way that we've lined up this summer, we haven't seen him play because he's been injured. I can only go off what I've seen of Rasmus, and out of the two of them at the moment, I think Rasmus has shown a little bit about him to be not to be the striker, but to be the backup. Has to be Xerxes. I've said it many times. I think he's the perfect for a fluid front three at United. I remember you saying this, Isaac. I'm not sold on Xerxes. I'm not sold on Xerxes. Can't do it. Days of Horror says Xerxes your day of the week. More technically gifted, can thread the ball, score goals, just needs to remain injury free. We don't need him to thread the ball though. We need him to score the goals. Do you know what? You've baited me. We'll do it. Joshua Xerxes. Got Moise and Xerxes. Where are we? Oh God! I mean, yeah. I literally, I feel like I'm already going to be justified when I show you this for my decision. Where are you? We need a 12th man. Where are you? If you get that reference, put it in the chat. Where are you? One of the funniest evenings of football I've ever seen in my life. We need a 12th man. Where are you? Bless her cotton socks. Right, let me bring this up for you. And actually, this will be interesting. Okay. So, played 40 games as a striker for Manchester United. 40 games. Okay? Let's bring this up. Let us bring this to you now. Share screen. Xerxes. That, in the words of the in-betweeners, oh, that's a bit high.
In the words of the in-betweeners, that is a fucking disaster. That, for any striker, 32 appearances in the Premier League. 32. That is horrendous. He come with such hype as well. His first game of the season against Fulham, when he come on and scored the winner. It's not for me. It's me, Everest. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're better than that. And yeah, Niche fan says, everyone's stunned. Everyone is absolutely stunned. Moxie coming in with the assist here. We have literally seen one or two moments from Xerxes, and he's maybe 5th choice as 10, definitely not as a 9. Well, this is the fact, actually. That is a great comment. That is a great comment. And you know what? To be fair to you, Ryan, you're right there. I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it. This is the thing. Yeah, I look, wahaha. I get it. He's had twice the minutes. I get it. But Xerxes played a lot of football for Manchester United, and he has not looked decent. And Isaac, when you say he's not a true number 9, it's one of those the way he just needs the perfect system to flourish. Well, he's at the wrong club because Manchester United won't be playing that system. Honestly don't rate it. Don't rate it. Dan, who did Xerxes have behind him when he was a striker? He had Bruno Fernandes. The same person that Højlund had. But everyone says that Højlund's, and I agree, that Højlund's rubbish and shouldn't be anywhere near the team. Well, Xerxes had the same. So why aren't the stats there to be a bit... If he's a better player, why aren't they better? Do you know what I mean? Let's get Vardy in as... Fucking Niche fan, honestly. Niche fan has been pulling for Vardy for so long. This guy wants him. This guy needs him. This guy craves him. He said Vardy for the last month. I love you, Niche fan. I love you. You're fucking brilliant. You're brilliant. What's the poll saying? Let's have a look. The polls absolutely battered me, to be fair. 6, fucking hell, it's going up now. Okay. All right. I'm going to shut the poll before it gets any worse. 72% of you said you would keep Xerxes. Well, 72% of you said it. So I will bow to your whim, but I genuinely, not for me, Xerxes. That's so true. We play much better with Xerxes up front. Even without scoring, he links up, wins aerials, etc. I know he hasn't been great, but Højlund has done absolutely nothing. Look, this is it. This is why we love this community. You say that, I will take on board everything you say. You guys love him. I think he's a nice bloke. And you know what? Actually, Ryan Arsenal comes in with the comment. If you can sell both, do it. So, yeah, I think we could agree with that. The things that annoy me is the posts about Xerxes. Like United putting that video of him scoring a flick against no goalkeeper with no one marking him. And we're meant to sit there and go, this guy's going to ball, And it's like, I don't like it. And Steve, you're right. There's no necessity for Xerxes in this formation. Simple. At least Xerxes can hold the play up and skin a player. Rasmus, unfortunately, as the first touch of a caveman. I love the fact. This is why I love you, chap. You will absolutely. Where is he? Moxie Shun, Moxie Shun coming in with that. I won't bow to the 72%. Xerxes, not the one for me, people. Get rid of Rasmus, get rid of Xerxes next year if he doesn't improve. But then are we just wasting another year with him? Apparently there's going to be a Baleba update at 10:30 from the bloke who broke it. At 10:30. Let's have a look. Where have we seen that? That's annoying because imagine if it was something mad and I've just gone off stream. Oh, whoa. Ginny Esther, are you still in the chat? Are any of the Newcastle boys still in the chat? If you are, just put a yes or a no. Put a yes. You wouldn't put no if you weren't here, would you? If any of the Newcastle boys are in the chat, I got some bad news. If there's Newcastle fans in the chat. I'll share the screen for this. Here we go. I think you probably already know Ginny Esther, but oh dear. No, it's not Sesko. It's not Sesko. Don't worry. It's worse. It's worse news than the Sesko news. Are you ready? Look at what's just started coming through now. Let me just zoom in a bit. Let me just zoom in. Let me go up a little bit. There we go. Newcastle have held initial talks to sign Nicholas Jackson. This is from Ben Jacobs. Chelsea value the striker at around 80 million. Newcastle, this is the issue. This is the issue here for Newcastle fans. This is the issue that Manchester United would have. And let's not say wouldn't have, because we don't know it's completely done yet. But this is the news. This is the news that Newcastle fans would have been dreading. If Manchester United beat them to the race for Sesko, this is the bad news now, because Chelsea know that they were willing to spend that money on Sesko. Chelsea will absolutely hold that as well. They will expect that moth. I'm going to punch that moth in a minute. They will expect big money. Iniesta, man. You know, that's crazy. Do you all remember when I said to you all that Manchester United and Newcastle United, there was going to be a clear winner and a clear loser? Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. That is the definition of a clear winner and a clear loser. That is bonkers. That is just mad news. That is mad news. And Moxie, just to dig it in there. I wouldn't even want Jackson for 50 million. Should we do something? I don't know if he's on stream. Let's have a look. I'll voice note him. I'll see if he sends a voice note back. Hang on a minute. Let's do this. Whoa, Peter. Have you seen the news of Jackson, mate? 80 million for Jackson. Newcastle interested. What do you reckon? He won't reply just yet. He won't. I feel sorry. Do you know something? I feel so sorry for Pete and Loaded Mag Boys. I honestly do. This summer transfer window has just been fucking horrendous for him. How ironic. Newcastle missed out on Chelsea's first and second choice strikers and are about to drop huge money on Jackson. I mean, it's just ridiculous. That is. But you know something? This Manchester United fans. That's the reality of the winner and the loser with the Sesko deal. That is the reality. Isaac says Newcastle aren't at the big sixes level yet. I don't understand why they continue to make similar signings. They built their current squad on instead of wasting time on elite profile targets. I think the problem is though, and Iniesta won't mind me saying this, I do think the ownership has to take some blame here, because they've promised Newcastle United fans this dream. They have promised Manchester United. They've promised Newcastle United fans this dream of, we are going to come in and we are going to rock the boat. We are going to bring in the players. We are going to do this, that, and they brought in some good signings with Bruno, Tonali, Isaac, and then you've got. It's not been great. And I tell you what. Eddie Howe, I feel so sorry for that manager. Baleba, boys. Baleba Brigade. Ooh, I love that. I fucking love that. That's ace, that is. Oh, I love that. And yeah, good night, Moxie. Great to see you. And Chad, I hope you are well, my friend. We are absolutely fantastic, and I hope you and yours are doing the same. I hope you're all well. Guys, that has been a fantastic stream that has lasted well over an hour. Well done. We've done brilliant here. If you are watching this for the first time, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Great show. I'll be back tomorrow night after I'm going to Slimming World. There we go. I said it. Slimming World. This looks like it's been painted on me. The years have not been kind to Mr. Robinson, and neither has the summer. But guys, have a great evening. Thank you for stopping by. Love to each and every one of you. Baleba boys, Brian Brigade, Benjamin boys. I can't wait till 10:30. Mrs. Robinson will kill me. If there's any news, I'll jump back on stream. But I don't think there will be. I think it will just be them telling us that they don't do it. I don't know how we do that. It's me, Everest. I don't know how we do that. I don't know how we do that. We can redirect, but I just don't know how. I don't know how. Let's have a look. We can redirect. Oh, they're not live. They're not live.
There's no one on from my channels that are live, or else I would do a redirect. Now I know what it is. We will do a redirect from now on. But guys, much love. Love to each and every one of you, and I will catch you all on the flip side, 9 p.m. tomorrow. This here belongs to all of you. Love and respect to each and every one of you. Ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao.